Okay, so the first step is that you got to go to your app store. So that's this icon right here. Okay, you click on that, and oh, I've already got this filled in, but you actually so you just go up to well, let's get out of this for a second. So you go down to the bottom right corner. That's the search button. So you click on search, and then that pulls up this search bar. So in that, you'll type in Adobe, Adobe Acrobat Reader. And so click on that first option, Adobe Acrobat Reader. Now that comes up with Adobe Acrobat Reader for PDF. Okay, so once you click it, so in this, so because I've already downloaded it, it just, for me, the button says open, but if you haven't downloaded this, this will be a cloud icon, and you'll just click on the cloud icon. Then you'll see a loading bar that will take, I don't know, a couple minutes for it to download. And then once it downloads, then you'll see this button to open it, or it'll actually just open automatically. So anyway, so we'll just click open. Okay. And okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we've downloaded Adobe, so let's get out of this. So we'll go back to the home screen. Now I'm gonna click on the Safari icon down here. And then in the search bar at the top, you're gonna type in isaec.org. Okay, you just click on the hamburger icon in the top left. Okay, you see a drop-down menu, go to For Patients, and then select Virtual Care. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a patient intake form for new patients, and you'll see a follow-up intake form for follow-up visits. So we're going to download the patient intake form, the new patient intake form, and it should open up in the web browser, but what we need to do is download this to your phone and put it in Adobe Acrobat. So you'll press the button at the bottom of the screen down here. So this box with an up arrow. So you click on that. Okay, and then you'll see the Adobe icon in the list right in here. Okay, so you're going to click on that, and then this comes up. So you want to import this to Acrobat. Okay, so just click on that. Okay, so then that brings up the fillable intake form here. Now, depending on your geographic location, there are different ISAEC programs operating individually, so that there may be slight differences depending on where you live as to how you're going to send this form back. Now, if you're going to be emailing this form back to the central intake, we would advise you to not fill this part out, the patient information, because email is not a secure form of communication, and so you just don't want to have any identifying information if you're going to be sending it back that way. Some other rapid access clinic programs may be asking you to fill this out and then faxing it back. If that's the case, you may be able to fill this information out. Okay, and you should have that. You should have this information about how to send this back provided to you in the same email that you got a link that you got that had the link to this video. Okay, so anyway, it's pretty easy to fill this in. So basically, you just click on the box, and then if it's a text box, it's going to pull up this keyboard down here, so then you just use it to type in your information. Now, it's a little bit hard to see on a phone, and it may be hard to see on a tablet. So if you wanted to zoom in, you basically just take two fingers, take your index finger and your thumb, you push it down on the screen somewhere, and then you move your fingers apart from each other, and that's what allows you to zoom in. And so when you zoom in, you can actually click on these text boxes, and it's a lot easier to do that when you're zoomed in. Now, to zoom back out, you just do the opposite movement. Your two fingers, your index finger and your thumb are far apart. You put them down on the screen, and then you pull them together, and then that zooms you out. Okay, and you use one finger to then to scroll down, And just read these questions very carefully because they're relevant to the symptoms that you're experiencing. So, for example, what makes your symptoms better, and then there's what makes your symptoms worse. There are these text boxes that allow you to then open up or allow you to then type in what's relevant to your particular condition. And that's basically what the form consists of, is these text boxes and these check boxes. Now, the only exception is this part. So this is actually your pain diagram. And so what we need you to do here is shade the area where you feel the symptoms. So to do that, let's clear this keyboard out of the way by clicking Done. And then down here, you'll see the pencil icon. So you click on the pencil icon, and then we're going to go to Comment. Okay, and then you want to go down to this pencil icon here. So click on that. Okay, now you can take one finger, okay, and you can draw the area that is painful. So it's a little hard to do that because I'm zoomed out quite far. So I want to zoom in. So you just use that pinch technique and you zoom in. And it might be a little easier to draw when you're zoomed in. So if we want to erase this part, we want to just correct this. Just go down to this area, or this icon here. That's an erase button. So click on that, and then you just swipe across it with one finger, and it erases it. Okay, so then let's go back to the pencil. And now drawing it, that's a little bit easier. Okay, now I can kind of draw it more accurately. Now if I want to, so I'm just using one finger to draw, but if I want to now scroll down, I have to put two fingers on the screen and then scroll using two fingers because the draw function uses one finger. Okay, and then I'm just going to zoom out, and then if I'm finished drawing the location of my symptoms, I'm just going to go up to the Done button here, click on that. Okay, and then fill out the rest of the form exactly how we talked about with the check boxes and the text boxes. So this is going to take you about 20 to 30 minutes total to fill this out. Maybe even a little bit more if you're not used to filling things out on your phone or your tablet. So just give yourself enough time before your assessment so that you can finish this and then send it back. Okay. Now Adobe will save this automatically. So if you go to the button, if you go to the button up here, going back, you'll just notice that it's now saved. Okay, so it saved it right here, and you can go back into it. Now, so that's how you save it to your phone or your tablet. If you're going to be sending it back through email, the way you do that is you go up to this button here. This is the share button. Click on that. Don't worry about signing in. You just go down here to share a copy and click on that. So in order to send it directly from your phone to the central intake or the administrative staff that sent you the email, you can use your default mail on your phone if you have it set up. So if you haven't set this up and initialized this, then you won't be able to use this. Now, alternatively, I have Gmail set up on my phone, and I use Gmail. So if you have Gmail set up, you may have an icon here that allows you to go in and it'll automatically generate an email with this as an attachment. So I'm just going to go to the mail icon here, and then so you see my email is here, sending it from my email, and here's the PDF attachment, and you just need to type in the address of whoever sent you the original email, and that's pretty much it. You're done.